Hey, you know what, Jethro?
The what?
You've seen the Baxman today? He's jumping up and down. He's whistling. He's singing. Uh-oh. You know what that means? What? Something good happened. Something good happened. Oh, boy. Mm, no? Yeah, yeah, something good's happened. I've never felt better in my life. I'll explain. You want to do your duty? Let's rock and roll. And now, live from the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios inside the Park Forest apartment complex in beautiful Midtown Jackson, Michigan, it's Steve's Sporty Balls. Tonight, a lot of sports, some entertainment news, and whatever else we can think of. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the Beast of the East, Steve the Baxman Baxley. That's the cue, guys. Sorry, Miss. Yeah, guys, that's the cue. Open the camera. Well, good day, everybody. Actually, hi. How are you? Let me fix our camera, little protector there. Hey, what's shaking, cackalackin'? How are you doing, folks? Yes, I feel good today. Let's just say he does know how to perform great miracles. Anyway, we got a good hour of power for you, and we're here. We are here. You are there. We are here. And all the world is a stage. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get on with it. We would be on at 11 o'clock or right after the playing game, but we're sticking to the 10 o'clock rule. We no longer, we're going rogue, as it were. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. I know, haven't done one thing, and I got to do that right now. So give me a moment, please. Please give me one momento to do this. Won't be long. Do 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 do. Yeah, everything is okay, and let's just say some things are worth waiting for. Okay, but nothing awaits our sportscast. So come on in, set a spell, and let me regale you with tales of the sports world. First off, oh boy, what a day, what a night, what a decade. You know what? Is it possible that we can, maybe turn this camera upside down one time? I would love to do that. Okay, here we go. Let's get on with it. Get on. Oh, we gotta save this for the ending. No one's gonna believe it, but we got some stuff to do first, and that is right now to update you on the play-in games that are going on as we speak to you live and in veritable color. So if you is ready, I know I is ready. Unless there's something totally wrong with our system here. Come on. Don't you just love it? We're having our buns here. Okay. Let's give you an update on the situation with the playing games. We have a final score from one. Just happens to be the Philadelphia 76ers go into the playoffs. They eliminate the Heat 105-104. And with 6:21 remaining in the first quarter, it is the Chicago Bulls leading the Atlanta Hawks 13-11. Yahoo! So we'll update you on that situation in just a few moments, maybe at the end of the broadcast. But wowski, and woo woo. So the Sixers get the number 7 seed. So where does this put everything in perspective? I'm glad you asked. No, really, I am. But before we do anything, we must do a little something serious here. How's my hair? Looks good? I know, I gotta shear it. Maybe I'll just keep growing it. Uh, the NBA issued a lifetime ban to Toronto Raptors forward Jonte Porter on Wednesday. By the way, forgive me. Oh, yeah. Achoo! Forgive me if for some reason I have to put my button down. I have been sneezing on and off. There we go. I've been sneezing on and off this afternoon and into this evening to the point where I am having to use some. Okay, there'll be something like that happening throughout the night. Hey, Matt Eddie, how is you? Now, let's get to it. We'll start over again. This is the best way live television. Okay. The NBA issued a lifetime ban to Toronto Raptors forward Jonte Porter today for violating league gambling rules. After an investigation, the league found Porter guilty of, quote, disclosing confidential information to sports bettors. Ew. Little snot bubble at the teleprompt. Limiting his own participation in one or more games for betting purposes and betting on NBA games. Now, if Jethro were here and not in the office, he is, of course, one of the heads of audio. He would probably say something like, in translation, that man is screwed. And yes, the 26-year-old Porter, who's a younger brother of Denver Nuggets forward Michael Porter Jr., went undrafted in 2019 and made his NBA debut with the Memphis Grizzlies in 2021. Hey. After spending time on multiple G League teams, he inked a two-way deal with the Raptors in December of 23 and made 26 appearances with the team this season. He last played on March 22nd, was inactive for the remainder of the season after ESPN reported on March 25th that the league was looking into gambling irregularities. We knew this was going to come. We did. We knew this was going to come, kids. There is nothing more important them protecting the integrity of the NBA competition for our fans, our teams, and everyone associated with our sport, which is why Jonte Porter's blatant violation of our gambling rules are being met with the most severe punishment. So said NBA Commissioner Adam Silver in a press release. While legal sports betting creates transparency that helps identify suspicious or abnormal activities, uh, this matter also raises important issues about the sufficiency of the regulatory framework currently in place. And I think I injured my tongue in that statement. Including the types of bets offered on our games and players. Working closely with all relevant stakeholders across the industry, we will continue to work diligently to safeguard our league and game, end of quote. The league's report concluded that prior to the Raptors game against the Sacramento Kings on March 20th, Porter, quote, disclosed confidential information about his own health status, end quote, that someone he knew was another bettor, then wagered $80,000 on a parlay bet that would have won $1.1 million. Where was I when this was done? If Porter hit the under on his player props, Porter subsequently removed himself from that game after less than 3 minutes due to illness. Now, due to the unusual activity, the bet was frozen and never paid out. Licensed sports betting operators brought the suspicious bets to the NBA's attention, which sparked the league's investigation. Over the last few weeks, the league also found that Porter, quote, placed at least 13 bets on NBA games using a associate's online betting account from January through March of 2024. All told, Porter wagered $54,094 and received a payout of $76,059, resulting in a net winnings of $21,965. Now, for a guy that's supposedly one of these millionaire basketball players, why? Why? And one more time for emphasis, why would you do a stupid ass thing like that? None of these bets involve games in which, by the way, Porter was playing. 3 of them involved the Raptors in multi-game parlay bets, including one in which Porter picked the Raptors to lose. Send them to Detroit. That's a lot like a ban, isn't it? Anyway, of the latter 3 wagers, none were successful. Ha 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 ha. The NBA's investigation remains open and may result in future findings. Furthermore, the league has shared its findings with federal prosecutors and will continue to do so. Uh-oh. To that point, it's worth noting that ESPN's original report indicated that there were irregularities surrounding the Raptors' January 26th game versus the LA Clippers. Porter checked out of that game after 4 minutes due to what the team said was a aggravation of a previous eye injury. The league did not note any specifics regarding that game in their press release. Uh-oh. Like no other sport, the NBA has an ironclad gambling policy. No one affiliated with the NBA is allowed to wager on any NBA property, including the WNBA, G League, Basketball Africa League, NBA 2K League, or Summer League. Punishments for violating said rules can range from fines to termination of contracts. In Porter's case, the league found the violations to be so bad that he was banned from the league. Porter is the first player to be disciplined for gambling since Roger Brown in 1966. I was 2 years old at that time. Jack Molinas of the Fort Wayne Pistons was permanently banned from the league in 1954 for betting on his own team while in college, while Tony Jackson and Doug Moe were both banned due to their involvement in the 1961 NC2A men's basketball gambling scandal, and Brown was banned in 1966 simply for his association with Molinas, while Moe and Brown would both later be reinstated Neither ever played in the NBA again. They did, however, star in the ABA, and Mo eventually coached in the NBA. Now, the only major gambling scandal for the league since then involved disgraced referee Tim Donaghy, who was sentenced to 15 months in prison in 2008 after admitting to gambling on games that he officiated. You think that's happening with that stupid umpire in the baseball games that keeps screwing up the calls? Angel Hernandez? I don't know. He's not really an angel, is he now? Of course not. Excuse me, I gotta get a little adjusted here. Okay, so what's going to happen to him? Maybe he'll have a chance to repent for himself at a halfway house or someplace like that. Okay, we got Team USA. We're going to talk about this. I'm sorry our promo department failed in the posting of our Electron board. Team USA didn't even medal at the 23 FIBA World Cup, and with the Olympics looming, USA basketball is determined to not let that happen again. Superstars around the league have expressed interest in playing this summer in Paris, n'est-ce pas? And with the games little more than 3 months away, Team USA has picked the 12 players it wants to bring to Paris this summer. 11 of those players, including LeBron James and Stephon, were announced Monday night. On Wednesday, nabbed the final spot. Here is the finalized Olympic roster for Team USA. If you love to read it, here we go. LeBron James of the Lakers, position forward. Stephon Curry, the Golden State Warriors, guard. Kevin Durant, Phoenix Suns, forward. Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers, center. Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns, guard. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics, forward. Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers, center. Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers, guard. Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves, guard. Drew Holiday of the Boston Celtics, guard. Bam Adebayo, Miami Heat, center, and Kawhi Leonard, Los Angeles Clippers. Notably, every player on this roster played for Team USA or in some major international competition aside from Embiid and Leonard, James, Durant, Tatum, Booker, Holiday, Adebayo, and Davis have won Olympic gold medals playing for Team USA. Halliburton, Edwards, and Curry have all played for World Cup teams. Whittling down the field for the 2024 Olympics was an extremely difficult task. Pretty much every all-star that addressed the topic on the record essentially said they would play if asked. Notably, LA Clippers forward Paul George was among those players who suggested they would play if given the opportunity, but is not listed on this initial roster. There were simply more viable players than available roster spots. The playoffs could potentially force Team USA to dip deeper into its player pool. All 12 Team USA selections are currently on teams set to compete in the NBA postseason. And if anyone gets hurt, spots could potentially open. Team USA initially named 41 players to its pool of possible choices earlier in the season. Of those 41, 12 have obviously been chosen, leaving 29 others to just wait and see what happens. Team USA is expected to face arguably the stiffest Olympic competition ever this offseason. FIBA World Cup champion Germany should return most of its roster for the Olympics. Bronze medalist Canada should even be better if Jamal Murray is healthy enough to play. Serbia won silver at the World Cup without Nikola Jokic. And then, of course, there are the hosts. France will not only bring back the core of its 2020 Olympic silver medalists, but will add Victor Wembanyama to the fray this time around. It's going to be fun, won't it? These teams all have significantly more confidence in the FIBA system than Team USA does. Coach Steve Kerr, managing director Grant Hill, needed to build the best possible roster to compete in based on star power alone. They've done so with this group. However, well, hey, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel, whatever universe, the MCU. Okay. Once again, my apologies. My allergies are causing my nose to do the sniffles, my eyes to do the watering, and all in all, just making me feel a little oogie. So, my apologies beforehand and afterhand. Let's see what else is going on in today's fun-filled fiesta. You know what? Let's see. Nothing more, nothing less. Put everything in good time, as they say. Um. Okay, let's get over to the National Hockey League. Let's get to the National Hockey League, guys. Thank you. Uh, Major League Baseball, we'll do that right now. In Major League Baseball, our little report. Eh, it's not nothing to talk about, so we'll just go here. Okay, want to do this report now? Okay. Well, we all know what happens when you win a Super Bowl. Strange things indeed happen, including one thing that happened as well. Um, I'm going to do a little something here. There we go. Hey, how's that? Okay, everyone who wins a trophy, like Stanley Cup, uh, someone threw it to another boat, almost dropped it. Super Bowl, same deal. Somebody threw it from one boat to another, and they almost lost it. Oh dear. Well, Jason Kelsey lost his Super Bowl ring in a pool of Skyline chili. The Philadelphia Eagles run to the Super Bowl LII. That'd be 52, wouldn't it? No, that's XL is 50. So this would be 42, right? It won't be forgotten anytime soon, but Jason Kelsey has lost a rather valuable piece of memorabilia from the win. On his, quote, New Heights podcast, Kelsey revealed that he lost his Super Bowl ring in a rather unusual manner. Kelsey, along with his brother Travis, held the Great Lombardi Games at the University of Cincinnati. The competition between athletes and academics involved a game where, excuse me for a moment, thank you much. Involved a game wherein competitors dove into pools of Skyline chili. Unfortunately for Kelsey, contestants weren't the only ones taking a dip in the chili. Kelsey said he lost his ring in one of the pools and is now gone forever. I legitimately lost my Super Bowl ring in this event, Kelsey said. They could not find it. We have still yet to find it. All of this stuff has now been thrown away, so I think we can safely assume that my Super Bowl ring is now in a landfill someplace in the Cincinnati tri-state area. I didn't think that would happen. Kelsey did note that he has already started the process of getting a new ring to replace the chili-covered one. Whether the insurance company actually covers the loss, well, that's another story. Kelsey added, quote, we've already put the insurance claim in, which the insurance company might have something to say about whether they're going to cover that, end quote. Kelsey, who earned first team All Pro honors 6 times throughout his career, received no shortage of accolades throughout his career. However, that Super Bowl 42 victory was the only one he experienced. So, if anyone that owns a landfill in the Cincinnati tri-state area happens to sift through things and find Jason Kelsey's ring, please let him know. Thank you. Oh, before we continue, I want to just say one thing to my friend, to a beautiful lady by the name of Piper. I hope everything's okay, and I send positive vibes and give well wishes to you and your family with love. Anyway, there we go on that. And where we go with this, I have no idea. Hmm. Anyway, let's keep on. We should have read that at the end, but we did not. So apologies therein. So who is right now facing whom in the wonderful thing we like to call the NBA? Well, I think the NBA playoffs. Well, I think we got the answer. If not, we'll find out for you. So right now, the NBA playoff bracket is this. For the West, the number one seed Thunder will take on the number 8 seed, the winner of the Pelicans and the Kings. Now, this is the West. Okay. Number 2, the Denver Nuggets will take on the number 7 seed Lakers. The number 3 seed Timberwolves will take on the number 6 seed Phoenix Suns. The number 4 seed Clippers will take on the number 5 seed Mavericks. In the East, the number 1 seed Celtics will take on the number 8 seed, either the Heat, the Bulls, or the Hawks. Number 2 seed, the Knicks, take on the number 7 seed 76ers. The number 3 seed Bucks take on number 6 seed Pacers. And the number 4 seed Cavaliers take on the number 5 seed Magic. Right now, what we're going to do is very simple, to the point. We're going to now transition to scores. So let's do that. Let's go for some scores, kids. Okay, let's go for some scores. Yeah, we got POT. We got plenty of time. Let's kick it with the scores. Okay, here we go. A little bit of the scores. And we're almost at the 10:30 mark, which is halfway home. And then I could probably go to sleep. Anyway, let's give it to you straight. I think we could all take it. We're going to do things a little bit differently. Let's go to the hoop. Let's go to the hoop. Oh, baby, let's go to the hoop. And here we go. As we know, in the play in games, the Philadelphia 76ers outlasted the Miami Heat 105-104. In the second quarter, the Chicago Bulls lead the Atlanta Hawks 40-33. Let's keep going, shall we? In the Basketball Super League from Canada, uh, Kiwi Titans lost to the London Lightning 111-108. Yeah, can we turn that light on, please? Thank you. This is what happens with my allergies. My eyes start to water, and I can't seem to get the feel here. See what else we can give you for tonight. The KBL playoffs, South Korea. Oh boy. Excuse me, folks. Is there a way we can do it this way, guys? Because I'm really having a little trouble. Dong Blues. Dongbu uh Prom 80 KCC uh, KCC Aegis 71. Man, maybe I should have taken the day off. Okay, let's take you on the ice hockey. The NHL regular season. Let's go for the games that are still in progression. Um, in the first period, it's the Arizona Coyotes 1, the Edmonton Oilers nothing. And at intermission, Dallas Stars and St. Louis Blues are tied at goose egg. The New York Islanders defeated Pittsburgh Penguins 5-4, and the Tampa Bay Lightning outlasted the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-4. Ain't you glad? I know I am. In the Ontario Hockey League playoffs, Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds defeated the Saginaw Spirit 4-0, and the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League playoffs. Let me try this here. Cape Breton over Chicoutimi 8-5. Royan Norandia lost to Victoriaville by a score of 5-4. Sherbrooke over Drummondville 5-1. And in overtime, it was Bio-Comeo over Arcade Bathurst 5-4. Let's go for WHL playoffs. Right now, they're still going on as we speak. In period 1, it's Kelowna over Prince George, or actually, they're tied at 0-0. In period 2, Swift Current and Moose Jaw tied at 2. And at the intermission, it is Saskatoon over Red Deer 6-0. In the AHL, in overtime, Iowa and Grand Rapids are tied at 2. Period 3, Milwaukee and Manitoba tied at 4. Intermission, Colorado and San Diego are tied at 1, as are Bakersfield in Ontario, Coachella, and Tucson. Now for the games that have ended. Belleville beat Syracuse 2-1. Hershey defeated Charlotte 4-3. Rochester defeated Toronto 3-1. And let's go to that wonderful game we like to call soccer. In the Champions League, Bayern Munich defeated Arsenal 1-0, and Real Madrid and Manchester City ended in a 1-1 tie. Let's see, do we have any more? Because really and truly, because of my allergies, my eyes are just not focusing so well. And it is not easy. So, again, my apologies to you folks. Let's see, do we have any MLS games available to us? Oh boy. Let's see. Nope, no other games included, so there you go. Let's go to Major League Baseball, and we'll see what develops there. Mm. Okay, let's take to Major League Baseball final scores. Giants over Marlins 3-1. Orioles over the Twins 4-2. Rangers over Detroit 5-4. Mets over the Pirates 9-1. Brewers over the Padres 1-0. In 10 innings, the Braves beat the Astros 5-4. Yankees over the Blue Jays 6-4. Royals over the White Sox 4-2. Nationals over the Dodgers 2-0. Athletics over the Cardinals 6-3. Cubs over the Diamondbacks 5-3. Mariners over the Reds 5-1. White Sox over the Royals 2-1. Phillies over the Rockies 7-6. Angels over the Tampa Bay Rays 5-4. Red Sox over the Guardians 2-0. And that is your baseball scores. Wow. I'll rub my eyes here for a bit. Okay. All right. Time for a little whatever we got here. Let's go for some entertainment headlines as much as we can do. Mm. Okay, let's Tony Khan made an announcement for tonight's AEW Dynasty Go Home Dynamite show, and a new match was added. Let's give you the announcement. Another new match and special announcement has been released ahead of tonight's AEW Dynasty 2024 Go Home episode of AEW Dynamite. PW Insider is reporting that Switchblade Jay White versus Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed in singles action is also scheduled for tonight's AEW on TBS program. Additionally, AEW President Tony Khan surfaced on social media ahead of tonight's show to announce that TBS has permitted the promotion a special overrun past the 10 p.m. hour for Dynamite this evening in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let's give you the complete lineup for tonight's Dynamite preview, or for tonight's Dynamite. Will Ospreay takes on Claudio Castagnoli. Adam Copeland and Willow Nightingale versus Brody King and Julia Hart. The Young Bucks and Kazuka Okada versus Penta El Zero Miedo, Pac, and Daniel Garcia. Deonna Purrazzo takes on Mariah May. Orange Cassidy versus Shane Taylor. Samoa Joe will talk. Jay White versus Anthony Bowen. Swerve Strickland will also talk. We'll also hear from Mercedes Moné. Jon Moxley returns as the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And Chris Jericho meets with Taz and his son Hook. By the way, Hook is still rumored to be going to free agency. The WWE plans to offer a boatload of cash. And you got to ask yourself, is Taz going to stick around in AEW if that boatload of cash is enough to have both of them go? But we'll find out. We'll give you the results on tomorrow's broadcast. Let's see. New York Post is reporting that Paramount Global is now expected to reach a deal with Skydance by the 30-day deadline. We'll just see about that. Sinclair and Roxy launched interactive on-demand news using over-the-air TV ATSC 3.0, so says Next Gen TV. A billboard for Buc-ee's convenience store popped up along I-96 in Michigan. So far, that's about all we know. Mayim Bialik says that Quiet on Set claim of abuse was not just only at Nickelodeon, it touched her personally. Maya Bialik has given her side of her take on the docu series Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV in a report from Deadline.com. The Big Bang Theory alum shared her thoughts on the latest episode of her podcast, Maya Bialik's Breakdown. By Bialik discussed the investigation discovery documentary with Blossom co-star Jenna Van Oy and former Disney Channel star Chrissy Carlson Romano. Women being in quotes, being berated in the writers' room is something that was just like, I'm sorry, it was considered in. I mean, I hate to say it, it's considered par for the course. Bialik said over the allegations made in the docu series by a couple of women writers working with Dan Schneider. Quote, I will say I do not believe that happened in our writers' room, and there were things that we all thought were okay to even joke about, which now we'd be mortified. Von Oy noted that the claims made in the series were, quote, things that I heard about other sets during our time. You're watching what the entire culture was like, Bialik said, quote, this is not what happened because Nickelodeon, this and that. Of course, it touched me personally. Of course it did, end quote. She continued, but what it also reminded me of is how far we had to come to get to a place where people like Chrissy get to advocate, and we know what she means when she says the mental health of children on set matters, and there are things that we can do to make sure that there are no exceptions. You can't push that child. And you can watch the entire podcast on YouTube. See, we carry everything here: sports, entertainment. CBS Cold Case Revival is the best crime drama idea in years. We could not um, agree more. And this from YouTube. Cartoon Network and Adult Swim just crossed over. Wow. I think it's because it's the 20th or 30th anniversary of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. But we will find out for you and report it all to you on our next little broadcast, perhaps. Wait a minute here. Let's see. This has got a transcript. We'll bring it to you. If this has got anything, we'll bring it to you. New Adult Swim bumper is a huge crossover between the Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. Characters from Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dexter's Laboratory, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and more appear side by side with proper Adult Swim faces. It's a fun time. And I'm trying to figure out if we got a well, I guess not. So we'll give that a little chuza. CBS renewal status report. Yep, we are getting close to the time when the May decisions, that's right, the May upfronts for the fall season start to become a reality. Let's see here. John Tortella was not told about Flyers already being eliminated from playoffs before pulling a goatee. Seth MacFarlane Foundation teams with Martin Scorsese's Film Foundation to restore its first ever collection of animated pics. Good idea. Congrats. Nordic streamer Viaplay launches on Amazon's Prime Video channels in U.S. following the shutdown of its own service. Very nice. Caitlin Clark joined the Pat McAfee show after becoming the number one pick in the WNBA draft. Let's see. Yep, it is Space Ghost Coast to Coast 30th anniversary. And wow, it's something we should read about. The Brack Show co-creator and animation icon Andy Merrill opened up about hitting rock bottom in response to another classic series anniversary. As you know, this is the 30th anniversary of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. In an April 15th post on X, Merrill responded to a fan celebrating the classic Adult Swim series' 30th anniversary. Quote, if you would have told me 30 years ago that today I would be at the bottomest, rockiest rung of the rock bottom ladder, I wouldn't have believed you. So what happened? Merrill was one of the earliest additions to Cartoon Network following the formation, or its formation, in '92, along with Mike Lazo. Merrill helped craft the prototypical animated late-night talk show in the form of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which was originally made in one of the network's spare closets. The series premiered a year after two unaired pilots were made, with the first episode hitting the airwaves on April 15th, 1994. Space Ghost Coast to Coast featured a cast of the classic Space Ghost Hanna-Barbera series, including Brack and Lokar, both voiced by Merrill. Space Ghost Coast to Coast was part of Adult Swim's original lineup of shows when the late night programming block was introed in 2001. The series' success led to multiple spin-offs, including the short-lived series Brack Presents The Brack Show, starring Brack, an animated variety show, as well as the more subtly titled The Brack Show, which was co-created by Merrill, Jim Fortier, and Pete Smith. The Brack Show featured the stylings of a classic family sitcom, albeit through the lens of its iconic, often buffoonish cast of characters. Merrill's most recent voice work for Cartoon Network took place during the original run of Adventure Time, after which Merrill portrayed numerous roles for competing networks, various series, including Gravity Falls on Disney XD and Nickelodeon's Welcome to the Wayne. In 2024, Merrill reprised the role of Brack for Max's Jellystone, another adult anime series based on classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons and characters. Hi, I'm Brack. Well, I couldn't do that in a long delicante. What are we doing here? Okay, let's try to get out of this and get into something else. Thank you to the folks at CBR. We have some news about the Wolverines. We're going to get to that right now. He hasn't been the head coach of Michigan football for very long, but already Sharon Moore has faced tough decisions. Besides, of course, building his own staff and the burden of course, recruiting his roster. The newfound era of name, image, and likeness licensing, along with the transfer portal from hell, Moore was put in an unenviable position by one of his new hires. Great former defensive line coach Greg Scruggs was arrested for Lil Dewey, DWI, after he was hired. Now Moore is in an even tougher spot. Beloved former quarterback and current recruiting staffer Denard Robinson also has been arrested for driving while intoxicated. For the moment, according to Detroit News' Angelique Chengalis, Moore is suspending Robinson indefinitely. But that's not all, folks. We found out the punishment for the Michigan Wolverines. And here we go. Here's what the University of Michigan football program has been handed down its punishment by the NC2 Alpha for recruiting violations which occurred during a COVID-19 dead period. These violations were the same for which former head coach Jim Harbaugh served a 3-game suspension at the start of the 2024 college football season. The NC2A enforcement staff reached an agreement with the U of M and 5 current or former staff members for recruiting violations and coaching activities conducted by non-coaching staff members. From the NC2A report, the agreed upon penalties in this case include 3 years of probation for the school, a fine, and recruiting restrictions in alignment with the Level 1 mitigated classification for the school. The participating individuals also agreed to a 1-year show cause orders consistent with the Level 2 standard and Level 2 mitigated classification of their respective violations. According to the NC2A report, a 6th former Michigan coach did not participate in the agreement, and that portion of the case will be considered separately by the Committee on Infractions, after which the committee will release its full decision. The NCAA, University of Michigan, and the 5 coaches who reached an agreement agreed upon the following violations: impermissible in-person recruiting, contacts during a COVID-19 dead period, impermissible tryouts, and the program exceeding the number of allowed countable coaches when non-coaching staff members engaged in on and off-field coaching activities, including providing technical and tactical skills instruction to student athletes. And according to the report, the negotiated resolution between the NC2A and Michigan also involved the school's agreement that the underlying violations demonstrate that Harbaugh committed a responsibility violation and the former head coach failed to meet his responsibility to cooperate with the investigation. The report says the school also agreed that it failed to deter and detect the impermissible recruiting contacts and did not ensure that the football program adhered to rules for non-coaching staff members. The NC2A report said the infractions committee's final decision included potential violations and penalties for Harbaugh is pending. Woo. Get ready, LA. He's your coach now. The report also relates only to the recruiting and in-person coaching from non-assistant coaches violations which occurred in 2020. The NC2A's investigation of Michigan's sign stealing scandal involving staffer Connor Stallions is still ongoing. Oh, joy. And whoa. So Michigan has thrown Jim Harbaugh under the proverbial bus. Okay. Belichick, the co-host Pat McAfee's Draft Spectacular on ESPN, probably. Enhanced streaming. I don't think we're going to find this out. I'm going to read about it personally. We're about 10:53, and I think I've done a good job despite what is going on with my eyes and nose and everything else. Okay, now the report we did yesterday does need some clarification, so here we go. There are staff members at NBC Sports. This is from the Chicago Sun-Times. There are staff members at NBC Sports Chicago who have been with the network through all of its rebrandings, from Sports Channel to Fox Sports Net to Comcast Sports Net to its current form. That pattern is expected to continue when the White Sox, Bulls, and Blackhawks make their anticipated move to multi-platform Sports Network Stadium, the Sun-Times has learned. Maintaining continuity and institutional knowledge with personnel who have helped produce game and shoulder programming for years would be important to the new regional sports network. Behind-the-scenes folks at NBC Sports Chicago, such as producers, directors, production technicians, etc., would help ease the transition. Teams already have been formed. Some current staffers said they will be making the move. And I wish we could find out more, but it's under a paywall. Sick people. Oh, boy. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Uh, so let's see. Let's see here. Hmm. Let's see. Here we go. From WKFR Radio. With spring officially starting in Michigan, we can finally look forward to warmer months and enjoy more outdoor activities. And many Michiganders are now trading in the snow shoveling for mowing the lawn. While we can't always predict the exact time we'll be doing lawn maintenance, you could be operating your lawnmower during hours that can get you fined here in the Great Lakes State. Did you know? It's no surprise that lawnmowers are noisy. While it's not expected that people will quietly mow their lawns, operating a lawnmower outside of certain hours could be a noise violation and get you in trouble through complaints, violations, and fines. Noise ordinances vary across the state. That is where we must all be mindful of Michigan when mowing the lawn. Local ordinances in Michigan set their curfews and often vary from each other. However, each ordinance defines excessive noise as violating the comfort and health of others nearby. This includes late night partying, construction at inappropriate times, and noise produced by tools related to the maintenance of homes and grounds, including lawnmowers. Ooh, it could be illegal. It could be legal to mow as early as 7 a.m. or as late as 10 p.m., but not everyone is an early riser or a late sleeper. Quiet hours are usually between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. during weekdays and on weekends between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Being mindful of our neighbors and communicating with them is key, and checking your city's noise ordinance is also a good idea to be on the safe side. Okay, folks, we are nearing the end of our little broadcast here. In fact, I'm going to end it and see if I can't get rid of what is causing me some sneezing and running eyes, etc. So, thank you all very much for tuning in, and we will see you all tomorrow night, hopefully, fully well enough to actually see things clearly. But thank you all very much for watching. Until we meet tomorrow night, thank you. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network. I'm Steve, the Baxman Baxley, and I say goodnight to you. Pray for my wellness, folks. Oh boy, being sick is not what I want to be. But good night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great one. Thanks.